Hey guys, today we're going to install our flip forward seat kit, talk to you a little bit about how it locks down, what size bolts and everything you're going to need to mount it, and kind of walk you through a quick process. This video has been a long time coming. We've been super busy, but we're going to try to get that done. So this is basically how you're going to receive our kit, all wrapped up and everything. And basically we're going to just jump right into it of showing you the two bolts. So from what we've gathered in the other video is 4 of 21 is the production date change, and any vehicle built after 4 of 21 or at 4 of 21 seems to have the larger bolts, so the kits are completely different. So if you have a 12mm socket to remove your seat bolts, then this is the early kit, which is a KRX 49. If you have a 14mm bolt head, then this is the later kit, which is a KRX 54. Today this is a 5 of 21 trail edition, and this one has the 14, so we're going to show you the new kit and how we're going to install that. So for starters, let me get over the car. Okay, so this car has the Click 6 harnesses in it, and I've just slidden those back, and actually for pretty much for recording purposes, I've already actually unbolted the seats. And the seat bolts are here. These are the ones mounting in your seat. You're going to have one here, and two that are under here. To get these, you just slide the seat forward, and then you can access these. But these are the ones you're looking for. They have a 14mm head, then you need the KRX 54. 12mm, you need the KRX 49. So first step, take out the seat. Okay, so I got the seat out of the car. I'm going to open up our kit. And as you can see, we've wrapped up everything really nice, cellophane and everything, so it doesn't get all beat up and shipping. Okay, so you got a complete hardware pack, and this kit is specific to the 14 kit. You got your 4 quick release pins. You're going to have your upper brackets that bolt to the seat. You're going to have 2. These are all wrapped together. Do those. These are your seat cross braces. These ought to be fun to unwrap. That was not too bad. Okay, so that's basically your kit. Now I'm going to kind of walk you through the install, and I'm going to take these to the car and show you how to do it. Okay, actually I guess before I walk back over, I'll show you the parts you guys are going to need out of the kit. So you're looking for the larger diameter bolts. These are the ones for the KRX 43, the biggers. And you're also going to need 2 of these lock washers too. So that's what you need just to install it onto one side base. And for picture reasons and video, I'm only going to install one side. Okay, so starting on the driver's side, the first thing I would do is just wipe off the dirt. Might have mud or anything in the area where it's going to be mounted. As you can see, this one also has a cab seal kit. Okay, so take your bracket, install it like this. And then you're going to put your lock cups on the back here and basically kind of push it in. In the kit too, we supply you with this Allen wrench because it's metric, and I figured most people don't have them. So get this in there. Let's get that down just a little ways. And as you can see, I'm definitely leaving them loose. I've always learned over the years the key to getting anything to fit is don't tighten everything until you got all the bolts in. And it really doesn't matter what you're working on. And we do supply you with new front seat bolts. As you see, we just put in. These are a lower head bolt, lower profile. That way the cross pin can go through, so don't reuse your factory bolts here. Okay, so now once you got that in, tighten up the rear just a little bit more. But you still want to kind of leave it loose. So that kind of felt tight, so I'm going to loosen that back up a hair. Okay, I'll loosen that back up. So that's pretty much the results of step one. Now we'll go to step two. Okay, so the next part is you need to put the front hinge brackets onto the seats. So for this, in the kit, we supply you with these gold bolts, and you're going to need to grab two of the nuts. Okay, on these, you want to attempt to put it with the bolt going down and the nut going up. So it sits like that. That way it leaves enough clearances and everything else. One of the keys here too, again, leave it a little loose. You got to get everything aligned with the pins before you can tighten it all down. You'll notice in the kit too, I should probably point that out. These are flange nuts. So in reality, you don't need to put a wrench on these unless you want to get it super tight. But what you can do is to tighten them, you can just tighten them from the top, and then that'll get you all set up. So now I'm going to flip this over. And you're going to install the cross brace. You know what, as a matter of fact, I'm going to elaborate on something else that people have been asking about. It is kind of confusing, the Recline Kit and then the seat leveling kit and how all that works. If you order an additional seat recline kit, it's pretty much going to replace the nut and bolt here, and it's going to have a spacer. So it will give you a little bit more recline. If you want to do the seat leveler kit, because this comes with 5/8 of recline already built into it, which is not a lot, but some people don't like it, then you can get the Recline or the leveler kit. And the leveler kit will go right here, and it's the same thing. It's a longer bolt, it's a longer spacer, and it will level out because the front already now has 5/8 of recline built in. So hopefully that makes sense, and that'll answer your question about what that was. But a lot of people too, they're not sure if 5/8 of recline is going to be good for them or not. Say most tall people, yes, but if you're unsure, just buy the leveler kit, throw it into your kit, and I mean, if you don't use it, you don't use it. So matter of fact, and even the spacers, you could use it in the front if you wanted more recline. You just have to change the bolts. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so on this side, grab our bracket. And use the Allen head here. I got socket head Allens. And then this side, I'll have to undo the seat bracket. And so on the backs, you're just using socket head Allen and another flange nut. They're all the same size. So you can see what one of the major problems with these seats is right now with me just trying to install this is from the factory, Kawasaki should have equalized these and welded something in and this and that. So we basically have a cross brace, and once this is in, it'll keep them tight so the seat doesn't want to slide and wiggle around, and that seems to be one of the big issues. So this is a nice way to help it. But other than that, that's it. You're going to grab 2 pins, and it's time to take it to the car. Back in the seat. And like I said too, these things will slide apart and from left to right rails. It's really a horrible design they did. So this kit should address it once you get it there. So the brackets that are on, White, you're going to need to get in here to film this. So the brackets that are on the seat itself, these up here are going to go to the outside of these ones. So pretty much I'm going to slide it over, take my pin, and this is another known thing we've run into too, is I can't see anything because there's a camera on my head. Okay, so that's sliding through. And one of the things I want to talk about is this is the Click 6 harness bracket and mount. Usually the pins will go the other way, but if you have the Click 6, then you can put it in this way. And that's pretty much the simplest way to do it. So now that I have one set up, I'm going to come and try to align the other one. And that reminds me that we need to pull out these brackets here. So let me go grab a 10mm and pull these out. Okay, so I guess I should have mentioned that before. There's a 10mm bolt here holding on this bracket, which literally does nothing. So we're going to remove it on both sides, and you're going to need to, just to be able to clear the pin. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pin on this side, try to line up the quick pin. If I can see, you definitely want to get yourself some light. And this is where the seat is really going to fight you because of the misalignment from Kawasaki on these back brackets. Okay, so there's that. Now you got the pins installed. Your next step you're going to want to do is look back here. You got the cap head Allen bolts need to lock into here. So the first thing you want to do is just set it back. Make sure they're going to fit in there. Tap it around. So that one was forward. That one's back. And now it's in there. Make sure the seat's sitting flat. And this is where you want to tighten everything. Okay, so once the seat's in, you got the front pins in. Now we're going to start tightening up. And the most important thing is make sure you don't tighten up anything until it's sitting in this position. You want it back in its locks. So I'm making sure it's down in those locks. I'm going to start tightening up the fronts. Now even counter it so it don't twist. I'll put a little pressure on that one there. If you want, I would recommend it. You need to put a little Loctite on these. Slide the seat forward. You'll notice how much easier the seat slides now too with this lock brace and everything tying it together. Okay, that's that part. So the next, you're going to want to flip it up, and in this ride we got a sound bar which gets in the way. But take your Allen wrench now and tighten this back up. Now when you do this, try not to let the seat move so you don't change its position. I'll try to flip my hands here. You can see I got plenty tight. So now I'm going to make sure it swings down. It goes right back into those locks, which it does. So that's good. So next step, I'm going to go back to the front again. Make sure I really wrench these in good. And they are. And I'm going to pull it back out of the car. So I could tighten down those original two that we first did. Okay, so I'll just slide this back here for now. So the next thing is you're going to want to tighten these. You can do it however you want, ratchets or whatever, but try not to let these move as well. Well, I had the seat just sitting there, but it slipped, so we probably just edited that out. But the next thing you do, take your Allen wrench, come back here, and just make sure you tighten these Allens in all the way too. And again, try not to move these. You set everything together and align it together. So just Try it one more time. With once you're done tightening these all up, you're going to want to reassemble it again just to make sure you didn't miss anything. Okay. Have to put the seat back in. Just going to line up the pins. I really should have put some light in here so I could see. And bam. Back is locked in and locked down. That's it. So at that point, guys, you're going to put your bottom of your seat back in, and you're pretty much done with one side. Put your seat belts back on and everything. And you'll see, even in this one, he's got the click 6s, and it still has just enough room here. Matter of fact, with his riding style, he may want to click it one click more forward to set against the back bars, but that's pretty much it for that. Next, I'm going to kind of discuss and explain the seat belts and the tie-in point and how they lock to you next. Okay, one of the other things I want to show you guys about these seat mounts is the main back part. At any point, you can pull these things out and pretty much flip them forward if you need to get behind anything, stuff like that. But people go, how they lock in? Well, this is how they lock in. This is how they lock in. Your seat belt. Your seat belts are rated for 2 to 3 times your weight to get their certifications to even hold anything in the car. When you put your seat belt on, it automatically tightens up on you. If you're putting in aftermarket harnesses or even click 6s, you're tightening your belt in to hold yourself into that seat. So once you've got your waistband tight, you never have to worry about it moving. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. See people say, well, I'd like it to lock in the back, and I get that. But if you want to lock in the back, then you're going to spend $400, not $200. So if it doesn't bother you like it doesn't bother me, then this is the way to do it. Another thing to keep in mind, we're racing our car. We're sending it, we're jumping, we're doing nasty walls and drops. I've never had an issue with our kit, and I haven't heard of anybody other than that having issues. Did have one guy had an issue. Had a passenger seat, and he wasn't having anybody ride with him, and he said it kept clicking and rattling around. So I'll kind of show you a trick of what I told him and what he ended up doing and telling me how it worked out. Okay, so like I said, he had a little issues with the passenger seat kind of rattling. Put the seatbelt on it. So that's what kind of was keeping his seat down, but his issue was a little bit of rattling. Simply, this was the cure. 2 silicone vacuum caps, something real similar to this. And you take these and you put those on those 2 cap bolts in the very bottom that slide into those locks. That'll get rid of all that rattling and everything else, and then you don't have to worry about it. So that's it. Been a long time due coming video. Hopefully it covered everything. If you guys have any more questions, please post in the comments. And again, as usual, like and subscribe. And we'll try to get some more install videos going. So thank you.